Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Welcome to the podcast, Podcasting with the Exercise Man. This is Kacey, and today I'm with Kendall.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, let's just get right into it. I know that you've been fishing pretty seriously now for like the past year.
Yeah. 2018 is my rookie year into actual tournament fishing.
And so you're coming up on a year now, or have you made that year?
Yeah, it's so I first started. Actually, I'll just kind of tell you the story how it all went down. In September 2017, I went to Flaming Gorge with Shan's family. You know, they go up there every year in September to do kokanee fishing. You know, they get their limits of kokanee salmon, for those of you guys that don't know fishing. Kokanee salmon, you get 6 fish a day for your limits, and they just pretty much go there for 3 days and stock up on fish. You know, so you can smoke it, cook it, grill it, whatever.
Yeah.
So he took me out there, or I went out there with them. Stayed in this little cabin. It's actually more of a double wide, but call it the cabin. And I had one rod. It was my ugly stick rod that I spent $20 on at Walmart. And then I had a $20 or a Walmart tackle box. You know the ones you open up the top and you know the little tray you can like flip up, but if it gets knocked over, all your crap goes everywhere. You know, I had one of those. You know, I've been fishing pretty much forever, except for not really seriously. Like the first time ever my first memory of fishing is when me and Nate, we went to either Butterfly Lake. I think it was Butterfly Lake up in the Uintas. Yeah. And it was Uncle Darren that took us up there, and it was awesome. Caught a crap ton of trout. But ever since then, I had my one rod. You know, I go here and there to like little ponds, and you know, or if I go camping with my buddies, my buddies from high school, we'll go camping all the time, and I always take a fishing rod.
So you would just before you just kind of casually fish, like nothing ever serious?
Yeah, nothing ever serious. Like, I'll take Callie to, we have a pond that's, almost walking distance from here. And I'll take her there to catch some trout, and she'd outfish me every freaking time, and I could not figure out why. You know, she was an awesome little fisherman. But, fast forward to 2017, going back to Flaming Gorge, it was awesome. Like, we did kokanee fishing, and pretty much when you fish for kokanee, they're deep.
Did you know that your stepfather, or not your stepfather, sorry, your father-in-law was really serious into fishing before this day?
Yeah, or I knew he's the owner of Maniac Custom Lures. And,
okay.
Dating Shan, he's been doing that since birth almost. So, he's always been into fishing. But that one day. We caught kokanee, just trolling around. It's not my type of fishing. It's trolling around, going back and forth.
Were you guys just on the shore then, or?
No, we were on his boat.
Oh, he has okay.
Yeah, he has a pretty good. It's not a bass boat. It's like an all-species boat.
Yeah.
And but I really didn't get hooked on it until in the evening we'd go smallmouth fishing for smallmouth bass, and so. He took us out there, and I had my little ugly stick, ugly stick rod with inline spinners, the stuff you use for trout. Yeah. And he looked at me and it was kind of a weird, confused face. He said, "No, here, take this.
These won't work."
Yeah, exactly. It won't work. So he gave me one of his rods with a Maniac minnow on it, and those things are gangbusters. They go, trout love them, freaking bass love them. Those things are freaking awesome.
Wow.
And so he had me this rod, and he told me to, we were fishing around this little island, and he told me to pitch or cast this minnow past this rock, and slowly just creep it by this rock. And I was like, okay, cool, and
so he's kind of showing you the ropes at this point?
Yeah, okay. Kind of here, this is how you do it, this is how you use it. And probably around the 4th or 5th cast, I got a bite, and it's been forever since I had a bite.
Yeah.
Every time I took Callie, I could not freaking catch
I know
a
how
fish.
that feels because I don't think I've caught a fish in like the past 5 years.
Yeah, see, that's exactly where I was at. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't caught a fish in forever. Every time I took Callie, she caught a bunch of little, planter trouts and
Yeah.
big old catfish, and I didn't caught nothing. So I hooked this smallmouth, and I reeled it in the boat, and I'm like ecstatic. I'm like, yeah, woo, get it. And I get it to the boat, and it's just a little guy, like, I don't know, 10 inches or something like that, less than a pound. But after that fish, dude, I was hooked, man. Like, we probably fished for another 4 hours, like into the dark, where it's like dark outside, and I was slaying it. All because of Chan's dad. He's like, here, use this, pitch right there, and oh man, we're just killing it. And then coming back from the gorge, I was on KSL looking for boats.
Yeah.
Looking for bass boats. Something around the $1,000 to $5,000 range.
Bass boats. I'm trying to get a picture in my head. They're like kind of like flat, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like
kind of square looking.
No, not really square. So it's a V hole, so it goes up to a point. But the way that they're designed, they can go into like a foot of water.
Okay.
A foot of water. So the bottoms are pretty flat. And then they have a huge deck space where you can like walk around,
like stand.
And fish. And Callie's in the back.
Callie's in here. Shout out to Callie.
Yep. So I was looking for a boat, but everything I was finding was like 10, 20, 30, 100 grand for a bass boat. I'm like, geez, man, I don't want to spend that much money. And then it was Nate that told me about kayak fishing, and I was like, well, you can't.
Because I know Nathan had a kayak before, right?
Yeah, he had his Sun Dolphin.
He was kind of getting into fishing too before you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was getting
into kind of on his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's the one that told me about kayak fishing, and then I started doing the research on kayak fishing.
Does Shanna's dad do any kayak fishing, or has he ever done it?
No, not at all. He's never, like, in fact, like on his pro staff, like now. I'll get to that later. But yeah, he's always been boats, and he's never even looked at fishing into a kayak. But now it's kind of the kayak fishing scene has gotten so big this last couple of years. Like, where the kayak bass fishing is like the mothership of all kayak bass fishing.
Really?
It's an actual company, Kayak Bass Fishing.
Okay.
They're the ones that put on the tournaments. They're the ones that kind of started this whole thing, and now they're partners with FLW, which is Fishing League Worldwide or something like that. They're like Bassmaster Classic type level.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, so in the fishing community, you have like the whole fishing community. You have like kayak fishing, boat fishing, river fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like any animosity between like the groups? Like, oh, these are a bunch of kayakers, or oh, these guys just are on boats or anything. Does that exist?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Not so much on kayakers against boaters, but boaters hate kayakers.
Really?
I don't know what it is, but like, we'll probably get this into it a little bit later as well. But so I just got back from the national championship in Louisiana. There was a boat tournament on the same day as our day 3 tournament, or our day 3 of our tournament.
Okay.
There was like 200 boats on that same lake, the same ones we were on, and dude, like, we were getting birds, getting like, get the F out of here type deal. And, oh yeah, dude, they hate kayakers.
Because I was thinking about like skiers,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about so much nowadays because snowboarding became so popular now, but I know skiers would hate snowboarders like for the longest time. I think it's changed, but it sounds like kayak bass fishing is getting more popular.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's like the snowboard of the fishing world.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
I guess there's a little more style to it. I don't know, the gear, and probably a lot cheaper, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of animosity. Like, there's videos on YouTube. Like, there's this one I saw on YouTube as I was going through my fishing channels and stuff. is this guy. He's a boater.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, this whole video is like 15-minute long video of him just complaining about the kayak guys. You know, and he's just like, why don't you be a man and go get a bass boat and blah 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 and this and that.
Shoot.
And he's like, I can't stand these damn kayakers, man. I can't stand them. Freaking, I got here early in the morning. I get to my spot. What do I see? Damn kayakers.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You know, dude, they don't like us.
That's crazy.
You know, most of the time. Like, but from what I can tell, like, I've never fished in a boat tournament.
Yeah.
Not until June 1st. It's gonna be my first boat tournament. Like, there's animosity between each other. Like, they hate each other, you know?
Oh, weird.
I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know, in the fishing world, it's kind of
So,
weird.
because you have your, like, casual fishers, like, hey, you and your wife might go, I don't know, throw off the shore, but then you're at a different level now.
Yeah.
To where you have fishermen hating other fishermen, you know, which you would never imagine, you know, in a sport of, like, fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So you were saying that Nathan told you about getting a kayak, so you started looking into kayaks.
Yeah.
And then, how many kayaks do you have now?
I have one.
Oh, okay.
I kind of lucked out because when I was in the market to buy one, I just wanted to get on the water to fish, you know, because after being on the water in James's boat, you know, my father-in-law's boat, like, man, it's like I don't want to ever fish from the shore ever again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ever want to do that. Like, it's still fun. Yeah, sure, I've done it, but
you do have to have a lot more patience, I think. You just stand there, cast out, sit there forever, reel back in.
Yeah, well, it's like, and it's also the type of fishing that you want to do. What's up, bud?
My big one was
Okay, hold on. We're live right now. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so after that, I just wanted to get out on the water. I was thinking about a little John boat, you know, trying to get something like a little Lund or something like that. And then Nate told me about get a kayak, a fishing kayak.
Yeah.
Because every time I thought kayaking, I always thought like getting the short little boats, whitewater rafting, or like the big long paddle, take pictures. You know, that wasn't my scene.
Yeah.
And I've been an adrenaline junkie my whole life, so it's like every time I thought kayak, I thought whitewater rapids, you know, freaking that type of stuff. So when I started looking at the kayaks, I was like, oh man, it gets me out in the water. I was thinking about the Lifetime Tamarack. It's only like $200 at Walmart. And I heard you can't stand up in it, but I heard it's a good kayak to fish out of. You know, so I was looking at that, you know, and I was looking at some other, but I wanted to stand and fish.
Yeah.
So I was looking at some other brands and some other, you know, they cost a little bit more. But one day just scrolling through KSL, I found my boat or my kayak. It's a $1,200 kayak that the dude was selling for $600.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dude, sold. I don't care where you live. I'll come get it. So, and he lived in like Malad or something. Not Malad, that's Idaho. It's like, I don't know, it's somewhere down south. Like some weird little, it's like 4 or 5 hours from here.
Dang.
And, but luckily, he had to make a trip up to Linden. So I met him in Linden. So it's only like an hour and a half from here. So, and that's I fish out of the Old Town.
And you're still using that one today.
Yeah, I'm still using that one.
So that was like a steal.
Oh yeah, like I should like now to where the level of fishing I'm fishing now. Like I should have fronted the extra $100 because he had a Old Town Predator PDL, which is a pedal drive versus like a paddle.
Oh, okay.
That having pedals is a game changer, especially if you're doing tournaments. Oh my
really?
goodness! Like I should have, because he was selling that one for $700. The one I bought was $600, so I was like, I'll just go for the $600 one. It's $100 cheaper.
Save $100.
Oh yeah, no, man, I should have gone with that pedal drive. So should have gone.
When
with pedal
you're
drive.
in these tournaments, do you ever like get like physically tired at all, just like going all over the lake or what?
Yeah, typically in a tournament, paddling probably about 3 to 4 miles. Just going to spot to a spot to a spot, you know. If I haven't got the opportunity to pre-fish the lake, I'm going about 5 miles, like round trip from where I launched, hit a spot, go hit another spot, you know, fish.
Wow.
And yeah, because we're on the water typically from 6 o'clock in the morning to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's about, what, 8 hours or so?
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's something like that.
So it's
can't
an
do math.
all-day thing, early in the
all day.
morning till like dark.
Not for a tournament, but
Oh, okay.
pre-fishing. If it's just me fishing, oh yeah, I'll go until dark.
So before you go into a tournament, you pre-fish. So what does that mean? It's like spotting out locations.
Yes, that's exactly what it means. It's like, because especially fishing for bass, there's so much knowledge that you have to have. Like, you can't just go out there with a bobber and a hook, and a worm, because where these fish are, they could be, like right now it's spring.
Yeah.
So in Utah, it's April, right? It's April.
Yeah.
They're going to be moving into pre-spawn, so they're going to be just off of deeper points.
But how do you find out? Like,
just studying the behavior of the fish.
like, are you like looking up on Google, or does like each lake have different, I'm trying to think of the word, like tendencies. Say you're fishing at Manti, and say it's like springtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay, it's April. I'm in Manti. The fish are going to be in this spot.
Yeah.
Does it get that detailed?
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Because for bass, they like structure. They like ledges, rocks, that type of stuff. Like main lake points, secondary points. So there's like a generalization. Like, okay, it's springtime. The water temperature's X amount of degrees. Probably right now, most lakes right now are probably in their high 40s. So they're still gonna be off deep. So if I went fishing right now, like today or tomorrow, and I'd be finding those main lake points and then going off deep, because that's where they should be.
Yeah.
So when
according to like science,
Yeah, according to science, yeah.
Okay.
So when it comes to pre-fishing, you use what you know, and pretty much go look for them. Like, they might not be on that one point where you're just like, dude, I swear they're gonna be here, but they're not. And then that's when you start kind of searching for them, and then you find them, and you don't want to fish them out like if you're doing a pre-fishing for a tournament.
Yeah.
So you hook them maybe one, maybe two, and then you mark it on your
map or your phone or whatever.
Yeah. So like, I gotten pretty competitive on it. So I got Navionics on my phone, and I got a fish finder that has a map on it.
So where was your first tournament at?
It was at Sand Hollow, St. George, or Hurricane, Utah. And actually, in 2 weeks, it'd be my anniversary, quote unquote, for tournaments, because it's going to be at Sand Hollow.
Oh, so it'll be your 1 year that you really dived into it.
Yeah, my first tournament was in March last year, and then...
Comparing your first tournament to this one you just done, what were the differences between your first time and this last time?
Well, the first time into this time, well, I kind of know what I'm doing now. First one, I had no idea what the heck I was doing.
Did you just like paddle out to the middle of the lake and throw your hook?
Essentially, like I was asking around. I knew a dude at Cabela's that fished a lot, and he told me to focus in certain areas. Like, I didn't even get a bite my first tournament, not one, not a single, not even a nibble.
What does that do to you when you're so excited about fishing in a tournament? I mean, did you ever think, "Oh, this isn't for me"?
No,
I mean, not having one bite, or did you still enjoy it?
I enjoyed fishing because I was out there on the water. Sand Hollow is freaking gorgeous. Red rock, and
you're in St. George.
St. George was warm, but I was getting pretty upset that I wasn't catching, like, not even a bite, man. I was like, what the heck? And Nate got one.
Nathan was there. Okay.
Yeah, Nate was there for that one. We're planning on going there again this year.
Do you ever, in a tournament, do you ever you see a bunch of kayaks heading one way? Do you ever think, oh shoot, I gotta go where they're going?
Typically no, because actually that's a great example on this national championship that we just did. There's a place on Caddo Lake. Half of it is in Texas, half of it is in Louisiana. Okay. And there's this place called Potter's Point.
So you were on the border then?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, we're more in Louisiana, but it was close enough to the border we could just drive there. But Potter's Point's in Texas, And our pre-fishing day, we showed up pretty early, probably about 6 o'clock. There's already 6 other dudes there that's going to pre-fish the same spot. On game day, on the tournament day, I heard, I didn't go to Potter's Point, but I heard there's 30 kayakers on fishing Potter's Point. Some dudes did do pretty well. Like my pre-fishing day, I broke my personal best twice on that same day. Caught a lot of good fish, a lot of small fish. My friend saw a gator.
So for those who don't know, this tournament was the national championship. Is that correct?
It is, in the kayak bass fishing world, it's the Super Bowl.
Wow. So what did you have to do? Is it just pay you're in, or did you have to qualify to get in?
Yeah, you definitely had to qualify. There's multiple ways to qualify. Like all of our, because almost all the states have like their own local clubs.
Yeah.
Like the one that I'm a part of is Kayak Fishing Utah, and to get a spot at a Kayak Fishing Utah, you had to be either Angler of the Year or runner up, I think. Yeah, and then first place, second place, and third place at a state championship. That's how you get qualified to go to nationals out of the local clubs. Or if you do some of the bigger tournaments like the KBF Trails, this is how I got qualified. I went to California, fished the California Delta. It was 102 anglers that was fishing that one. And I placed in the top 10.
Top 10 out of 100?
Yeah, 102. So
what place? What did you exactly place?
I placed 8th, 7th or 8th. I can't remember now.
Oh, so you had to beat out like 90 people.
Yeah, I beat out 90 people, and I'm a Utah guy. We don't get fish like that here.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever feel intimidated at all? Like you go to a tournament and you see someone have all this gear and.
At first, yeah. Like, I know what you're saying. Yeah, definitely at first. Because last year we fished a tournament on Manaway Reservoir, and there's dudes with like cameras and these awesome pedal drive boats with a bunch of like stickers on their boats and jerseys and stuff. And
were you like, damn, I'm not gonna win this?
I was like, oh yeah. I was like, and Manaway's quote unquote my home lake because it's only 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So I typically fish that a lot, and so that one, I was pretty intimidated. But now that I've been doing it a while, it's like I'm the one that's doing the intimidating because I got sponsors and stuff now. And
so in this sport, we'll get to your sponsor here in a sec, but in this sport, are there like certain ethics that anglers do or should not do during tournaments? Are there cheats, like people that try to cheat or anything like that?
Yeah, there's some big ones that have been actually, this last year has been pretty bad about them. Like at the beginning of the year, I can't remember the dude's name, but so on our measuring boards, like on our tournaments, we don't have a live well, so we can't do it by weight. We do it by length. Okay. And on our hog troughs, they're called hog troughs or measuring boards. The first 8 inches, first 8 inches.
That's where you catch a fish. You lay it down like on almost looks like a ruler.
Yeah.
And then you have to take a picture from there. Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you take a picture. You load it up to tourneyx.com. We have an app for it, and that's how your fish is judged. But there's a dude at the beginning of the year. He cut 2 inches off of that white space because the measurement doesn't start until 8. At 8 inches. So he cut 2 inches in that little white space. There's no measurements.
Yeah. And
then he glued it back together so it looked like a 6-inch fish would be an 8-inch fish, or a 12-inch fish would be a 14-inch fish. He actually got caught, got tried, served jail time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was a federal offense because he's winning money by cheating that way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, now he's
Is he banned now or?
Oh yeah, he was definitely banned. And now he's a freaking, what's it called when you go to prison?
Oh, a felon?
Felon, yeah. And so now he's a felon because he had a felony charge.
He's a felon because of a damn fish.
Yeah,
damn.
And there's others.
He chose the wrong path.
There's some other ones. Like there's this chick not too long ago, actually probably about 2-3 months ago. Or no, it was at the end of the season. So end of last season.
Okay.
She was catching fish, and she would hang on to the fish, like put like a donkey leash on the fish, like in its mouth.
Yeah.
Paddle, I don't know, freaking 20 minutes down wherever, pull that same fish out, pull a marker and like mark different, characteristics on the fish.
Yeah.
And submit the same fish. So she was winning tournaments that way too.
How did she get caught?
I can't remember the exact story, but they looked at the fish, because there's just like these weird like anomalies.
Yeah.
What are they? Anomalies?
Yeah.
I can't say the word. Anyway, because it looked like one should be like squishing the fish like against the fence on the bump board or on the measuring board. And then, so it'd shrink the fish probably an inch or two, or a quarter inch. And then take a marker, put a little dot on it, and then stretch that fish out towards like, 2 inches longer. So it looks like, quote unquote, like a different fish. But the pattern on these fishes is like a fingerprint. Like at the other patterns of the fish, like, dude, that one looks exactly like this other fish that she submitted.
So, like, when you say patterns, you're talking about, like, colors or, like, the scales or,
yeah, like their lateral lines and stuff. Like, they're all different. It's like a fingerprint for the fish.
Yeah.
And so if somebody caught on to it, it's like, there's no way this chick's winning every dang tournament.
Yeah.
And so they looked into it, and yeah, sure as crap, they freaking caught her cheating. Another one was a dude cut the tail off of a bass, or found one or something, and then he'd put it on the board where the fish's tail would be.
Yeah.
And then put this cut tail longer, and just cover the cut part with his hand. So it looked like it was
like he's holding the fish down on the ruler.
Yeah, he's holding the fish down on the ruler.
He has a piece of a tail from a different fish.
And then he would stretch that cut tail to gain like 2 inches, 3 inches.
I guess.
And he got caught too. And he got a felony charge as well.
I guess cheating in this sport is pretty serious because of all the time that people take in and the money they spend to, show up or drive out there, and then you just have someone cheating.
Yep.
It's pretty terrible. Let's talk about the Super Bowl of fishing.
Yeah.
So you went to Louisiana. How far away is Louisiana from Utah?
It took us 27 hours to drive.
Did you guys stop at all?
We stopped once. It was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning on the way out. I don't even know where the heck we were. We're between Albuquerque, New Mexico, and somewhere.
Wow.
And I passed out. I was the passenger at this point, and I was trying to stay awake, because the driver was staying awake, and we were planning on stopping in Albuquerque.
Yeah. Just
to rest up for a little bit. But man, I was like, my contacts were jacked up, and I kept closing my eyes because it hurt, and then closing my eyes made me tired, so I fell asleep. And then so we just pulled on the side of the road.
And just slept in the...
Yeah, we slept for about 2 hours, and after the sun came up, we were ready to rock and roll, so we made the rest of the drive.
Have you ever been down south?
Yes.
Oh, with Army or...
Yeah, I've been to Mississippi, Georgia, Florida.
Oh, you've been in all those states then.
I've been, Louisiana, I have not until this trip, so...
So how many states did you drive through?
Let's see. We got Utah. So we went through Utah down to a corner of Colorado. So
Arizona.
Colorado,
No. Yeah,
New Mexico, Texas, and Texas is a big state. In Louisiana.
Yeah. Did you drive through the whole length of Texas pretty much?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, and there's a whole lot of nothing in Texas.
So that's
the drive that we did.
That's probably the hardest part of the drive, then.
Yeah, we kept ourselves entertained.
Who was with you?
So my teammate, Erin Mathis, she's a female angler, which there's not a whole lot.
She's appeared on your Instagram live videos.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So she's in my Instagram live videos. We're both on the Maniac Customers Pro staff. And I first met her at the Sand Hollow tournament last year, and then ever since then,
Did she know Shanna's family at all, or?
No, not Shanna's family directly, but she was friends with a couple of other pro staffers from Maniac, like Tim Rawlings from Idaho, Dustin Stewart that lives here, and
what does it mean to be sponsored? So you're an official sponsored angler.
yeah, and I got more sponsors coming.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually.
So how does one go from having a Walmart pool, just a dinky little Walmart fishing pool, going to, do you get free stuff at all, or?
Yeah, but I don't like getting the free stuff. Like, I feel like I don't know. For me personally, I feel like I'd be doing something for it.
Yeah.
So at first he gave me just a pretty good discount on lures.
Yeah.
Even though it's Shan, it's Shan's dad, so it's like, oh, you need lures? All right, I'll go package some, and she'll bring a bag of lures, or I'll be talking about a tournament or something, and James will be like, here, try this. Oh man, they love this down there. Here, take this with you,
Yeah.
And so he'll give me like, I don't know, $100 worth of lures just for free, just to, because he wants me to win.
How happy did your father-in-law get once you really got serious into fishing? Was that something like he really enjoyed, or?
Well, he has 4 daughters, no sons.
Yeah.
Until me, it was him and his wife and 4 daughters. And then Megan, Shan's sister, also has 3 daughters. So until
no grandkids either.
Oh,
grandsons.
Yeah, no grandsons until Zay. Now Zay's here. It's like, it's like us 3.
Yeah.
Against I shouldn't say against because.
But in a way, it is kind of against.
Kind of is, So yeah, so we talk fishing every time we go up there. We're always talking fishing, talking about different techniques, the stuff that he used. Because now he's one hell of a fisherman. Like so he'll take me up to Idaho every so often to fish.
Yeah.
Which has way better fisheries than Utah for whatever reason. I'm pretty confident when it comes to fishing now. Like I feel like I'm pretty decent. Okay. I got the national championship out of 461 or 71 anglers that were qualified to go. I ended up 155th place. So
you beat out quite a bit of people.
Yeah, and
being only 1 year into the game.
1 year into the game.
Or less than 1 year.
Yeah, and I beat out dudes like Dwayne Taft and some other names. AJ, I can't remember his name now.
Are these like well-known fishermen, or?
Dwayne Taft was the champion from last year.
Wow!
I beat him this year, so. No disrespect to him because he's talking to him on the lake, man. He's a great dude.
But it should be an accomplishment because with his accolades.
It made me feel pretty good. I was pretty upset because I should have been in the top 100. I had a crappy day too. But when I found out that I beat out my buddy Jake, I met him down there. He's on the Old Town Canoe Pro staff.
Where's he from?
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And talking to him, he's just like, dude, man, freaking, it's all good, bro. Freaking, you beat Dwayne Taft, you beat this guy, you beat this guy, you beat this guy.
Like, holy crap.
You beat this guy. I'm like, okay. No, I'm a Utah dude, man. Freaking.
Yeah.
Our biggest fish is like little dinkers to comparably. Yeah.
So when you arrived in Louisiana, was there anything that stood out to you because you never been to that state before?
Not really stood out. It was.
Did it look like Texas at all?
No. The main state of Texas is a whole lot of nothing in all directions.
Yeah.
Like nothing. There's nothing. No mountains, no trees,
just
nothing.
Flat.
It's
yeah.
just nothing.
Terrible.
And there's the part we drove through, man, it stunk so bad. Like, it smelled like cow crap.
Yeah.
But typically cow crap kind of like brings me home, Woodruff, I love that
yeah.
place. So that, like, smelling that here or anywhere else here, freaking, it's like, oh man, I love that smell. Right?
Yeah.
Man.
Reminds you of Woodruff, yeah.
Yeah, but man, we were driving through this one, I can't remember what part of Texas, but there's one part of Texas we're driving through, and holy crap, dude. Like, Aaron wanted to pull over and throw up.
Oh my god.
And at first I was like, oh, it's fine, but after like 2 seconds of it, dude, I could not breathe. It was so bad. But Louisiana is just no. It's like I was kind of used to it because all the travels I've done through the military, through the army. Because I've been to Mississippi and Georgia, and like it's really, really green and really wooded, and like you drive down the highway. So they got highways. Like we got I-15.
Yeah,
they have highways. Like it's just 2 lanes. You know, you're going 70, passing a semi going 70 the opposite direction. You know, so it's kind of crazy that way.
Sure it is. That sounds scary.
But it's like trees lines the road. You know, so you can't really see anything past that line of trees. The water is definitely different because here in Utah we have typically it's pretty clear water. You can see 3, 4, 5. If you're Sand Hollow or something like that, you're seeing 30 feet down. Yeah, dude, the visibility there is like 6 inches, and the deepest part of the lakes are like 12 foot. At max, you know, if you're lucky. Oh,
really? So they're pretty shallow then?
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at your pictures on Instagram and some of the ones you posted on Facebook, and it almost looked like that this tournament was like in a swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the trees coming out of the water.
The cypress trees, man, if I ever see a cypress tree ever again, it'll be too soon. I
guess trying to fish, is it always just getting caught?
Yeah, I lost a lot of lures. You know, trying to cast into the tree, or hit the base of the tree and let it sink down. Yeah. But Caddo Lake is a famous fishery. It's like, the Bassmaster Classics fish there.
How big is it? Like, does it compare to a lake in Utah?
Yeah, it's huge. Caddo Lake is huge. It's freaking giant.
Like except it's just shallow. Bear Lake giant?
Probably actually. Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Like, if you look at it on the map,
it's probably bigger. How would someone not get lost in there?
Like in the cypress trees? Yeah. Well, that part, oh, man, that's the story. So, let me tell you the story. So, day one, so we show up on Friday night. Okay, that's when we showed up. We didn't start fishing until Sunday. So we're looking through maps, pictures, trying to do research on where to go fish. In our minds, it's like, oh, this looks really bassy, right? There's got to be a lot of bass in there. And this is the Texas side. And so we go to this place, and it's actually a kayak ramp. Like, it's built for canoes and kayaks, and, not so much for boats. Yeah. And they had these, and this is like banjo playing... Freaking, if you hear banjos, man, start paddling away type crap.
Get out of town.
Oh yeah, dude, it was so creepy. Like the water moccasins, like they climb trees and they fall out of the tree into like people's boats and stuff.
And they're pretty poisonous, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I got a picture of a water moccasin on this like rusted out barrel that was like probably from me to you, and I didn't even see it until until I got past it. And I was like, dude, I just went past that thing. But yeah, so that part actually, the bass fishing there is crap. People, like, we ran into a dude later that day. Yeah. Told him where we went. And he's like, yeah, people don't go back there to go bass fishing. But it was probably one of the coolest paddles I've ever done. Because they have these license plates, like these old license plates, like bolted to the trees. So you can actually like, kind of guide your way through these cypress trees. Okay. And then when you get out to like the main part of this arm of Caddo Lake, it's on Caddo Lake. It's just like the northern part in Texas. Yeah. And it was cool. Freaking have you ever seen Swamp People on Discovery Channel?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, where they hunt alligators and crocodiles. Yeah.
So they had those, they look like 550 core, like parachute core, like in the water, and that's how they catch their gators. They were everywhere back there. Like there's some, like I'm pretty dang sure there's gators like on these lines.
While you were out there, did it ever cross your mind like, crap, there's gators out here? Did that scare
dude.
you at all? Or?
I took both my pistols with me. Oh shoot! My Glock 19 and my 1911.
Just in case.
You know? Hey, do you got any more of those? You wanna hook me up with one? Dude, my mouth's so dry. Yeah, dude. I know, dude. Freaking thirsty. Anyway, sorry guys. Dude, thanks. Yeah, dude, like it's creepy. Like my buddy Charlie, he caught a picture of a 7-foot gator that was probably 15 feet. Like it was just swimming right on the edge of the cypress trees. I didn't see a gator while I was there, not one. Aaron saw one, like a little baby one. Charlie saw one. Pictures were posted on the KBF members only page about gators all over the place. I didn't see any.
What were there any precautions? So like before you go out in the water, are they like, hey, don't go this place, or and it's like, all right, good luck.
Pretty much, yeah. It was like we didn't like even talking to locals, or I don't know, like it's just an everyday life for them. So it's like,
yeah, in
if
tournaments,
you see them, don't mess with them. They won't mess with you.
In tournaments, knowing that it's so competitive, do people not share information with each other?
Nope.
Like, because usually guys, like, say you go to the lake, you're shore fishing, you might yell to the guy that's next to you, hey, what are you using, or
what are you throwing? Yeah, not during game days.
Game days, just zip it.
It was so here in Utah, like our community in the kayak bass fishing world, we were like a huge group of friends,
like really nice to each other.
Yeah, there's time like for the state championship.
I think so.
Oh, thanks, dude. For the state championship, we fished Pine View, Pine View Reservoir.
Yeah.
It was so low, like all the structure that we were trying to fish it was dry. Yeah. So the one piece of structure that we can find, there's 4 of us fishing it, and you can kind of see it in my video on YouTube. It's like me, Joe, like Nate and Logan.
What is your YouTube channel? Just so,
my YouTube. Shameless plug. Okay, my shameless plug is YouTube Pirate Bassin. So pirate, like because I'm a pirate nerd, and Bassin is BASS''N. I only have like 4 to 6 videos on there right now. My California video is probably my best one. Viewers.
And that was on the Delta, right?
That was on the California Delta.
Okay.
There is a bunch of cursing in there, so if you don't like swear words,
just put it on mute.
Yeah, you can put it on mute, or just take it with a grain of salt.
It was a really frustrating day, probably.
No, it was probably the best day of my life.
So
up to that point.
You're just like, F yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I was. Yeah, I swore a lot in that.
In Louisiana, were you guys like the only Utah?
Yeah.
The only was just the 2 of you?
No, so it was me and Aaron, and then
you guys drove together. That's right.
We drove together, and then it was Charlie, Cayman. Cayman freaking rocked it. Like his day 1 sucked. Yeah. His day 2 was pretty good, but day 3,
he made it to the day 3 then.
Well, day 3, those of you guys or those that didn't make it to the top 100 still was able to fish for Big Bass Brawl. Okay. So whoever won the Big Bass Brawl still got a paycheck. And my buddy came in and he pulled out a 7.5 pound, I think 7 pounds.
Oh wow.
7.5 pounds, something like that. And it came out to 22 and 3/4 inches. So he won $3,000 on catching big fish on day 3. Yeah, I made a poor decision. Me and my boy Jake, we decided to go to Red River, try to cash in on the Red River bounty. If you pulled the biggest bass out of the Red River, it's $1,500. So we're like, oh man, 2 birds with 1 stone. It probably hasn't been fished a whole lot.
Yeah.
But we didn't spend a whole we didn't pre-fish it at all.
Thanks too.
And we kind of pretty much threw a dart on a board, essentially. And I kind of threw a dart at the maps. All right, this is where we're launching.
Yeah.
So, we did hear it's pretty good there, but at the same time, I didn't even get a bite that day. So.
So you made it to what, day 2 then?
Yeah, day 2. Yep.
How many people were knocked off after day 1?
Well, days 1 and 2, everybody fishes.
Okay.
And then the top 100 move on to day 3 for the championship.
And what place were you again?
On day 1 or day 2?
Day 2.
Going into day 2, I was sitting in 109th.
So you were pretty close.
If I had a limit like I did the first day, I would have been in the top 100.
Really? So you were just 9 people.
I was 9 places.
Ow.
Yeah, and then I got dropped down to 50 or 155th because that day 2 sucked. Like I didn't catch a fish until about noon, and it was just a little 13-inch.
Oh wow.
1 inch. Because
how frustrating does that get?
Well. Wait till the video pops up. You'll see me almost break a rod on the water. I was pissed, man.
Would the viewers have to mute that one too, probably?
So I missed the fish, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's been a couple hours since I had a bite. and it was a big one. Like, it was north of 5-6 pounds.
Wow.
Like, it was a good freaking thing. And then I don't know, it came off the hook or something, and I took my rod and I was just hitting the water. It was like, mother bleepity, you know, mother son of a poop stink, you know.
Yeah.
But different words.
Wow.
So I was pissed, man. Or mad, you know, like, stink, man. It was, and then that led to making more poor decisions.
It's kind of like a domino effect, probably, huh?
It really was, because
it seems like once you're doing good, you know, I'm assuming, but you know, things start to go good. But if you start bad, it seems like it ends bad. I don't know.
Yeah, because all week, like Monday or Sunday, we didn't catch anything. Like, I didn't catch a bass at all.
Yeah.
Because just the spot. But then that Monday before the tournament, you know, I caught 86 inches, you know, for my top 5 biggest fish. You know, a couple 20.5 inchers and 19 inches.
And those were your personal records.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that put me in 5th place after Monday, because I was also in another tournament at the same time. It was the KBF Louisiana State Challenge, which is like an online tournament that lasts the entire month. Out of 108 anglers on that, I was sitting at 5th place after the day 1 of pre-fishing.
Oh, wow.
And then all said and done, by the time the end of the month, I'm sitting on 11th out of 108. So,
so it seems like you're placing pretty high.
Yeah.
Like, and you've only been doing this for a year now.
Yeah, so I didn't know what kayak bass fishing was until...
So compared to your very first tournament into this last one, how would you rank yourself, like, growth-wise, like 1 out of 10?
Oh, man.
Like 10? Yeah,
probably. Yeah, 10. Like, because when my very first tournament, Sand Hollow, it was March last year. I thought it'd just be something fun to do, you know?
Yeah.
Saw it on Facebook and talked Nate into going down with me, and or vice versa or something like that. Or it was more of like a mutual, yeah, let's do it, you know?
It's like, if you go, I'll go.
Yeah, pretty much, you know, and didn't catch a fish. But now I got, you know, I'm sponsored by Maniac Custom Lures. People are like, oh, that's because it's your father-in-law. No, it took me a year to convince him of doing that.
You had to get his trust first, right?
Yeah,
you know,
I think it was the California Delta. When I placed 8th place out of 102 people, and 90% of them were from California.
Did he bring it up? Like, hey, you know, I want to sponsor you.
No, it was jokingly at the beginning of the year. It was like, you know, talking about pro staff positions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you should have a kayak division of your pro staff, you know. And jokingly, like, throughout the year, I was like, no, seriously, what do you think? And he's like, oh, I don't know, whatever.
Because he hates kayak fishing, right?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He's known boating tournaments, you know, freaking like the FLW, MLF, Major League Fishing, you know, the ones you see on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
And after what we did in California, and Aaron winning Angler of the Year for Utah, pretty much was like, oh, and like his sales like went freaking up after we started talking dudes, you know.
Oh, really? Did you talk to people in Louisiana about Maniac lures and?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing I was catching them on. Is freaking
Maniac. Wow.
Yeah, the Maniac salt stick. Like I threw yums, yum dingers, I threw this other brand of like a worm, like a plastic worm.
Yeah.
They couldn't catch any of those, and the only reason I was throwing those is because I was out of my freaking Maniac.
Oh yeah, you lost them in the trees.
Lost them in the trees, lost them on fish, you know, because we're fishing hard.
Yeah.
And then I got 5, or Aaron hooked me up with 5 of them. The second I put a Maniac salt stick on, boom, I caught a fish within like 3 or 4 casts.
So if anyone's listening and they're curious about doing some fishing this summer, Maniac lures is the go-to then.
That is, yes, that's a staple. Like, I don't use other plastics. I don't use any other brand on plastics. It's been 100% Maniac, because like
they just work that well. They're
awesome. Like, ask Nate. He has a whole bunch of crap. Guess what he's catching fish on? freaking maniac lures, man.
Yeah,
That's what he catches fish on.
He's been doing the tackle box, getting that thing once a month, and
yeah. So he's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
but I think I turned him on to that maniac brand a little bit more. Now you still can get other stuff, which but by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
But once you start catching big fish on the minnows and the cutter bugs and salt sticks, man, like I don't know why you use anything else.
So what's next now? So you finished this tournament. What are the next tournaments coming up?
April 27th is Sand Hollow. That's my next one. I was trying to go to California this upcoming weekend for a tournament, but I have a business conference I got to go to in Vegas, so I won't be able to hit that one. I think I'll be hitting a California tournament in July. That's another KBF trail. Can't remember what lake. I think it's on Comanche. I can't remember. But
okay, yeah, so the listeners, if they don't know by now, Kendall is serious. It's not like a hobby. It's turned into a sport. Yeah. So that's pretty cool because just this last year, you barely stepped into it, and it seems like you're going 100 miles per hour now. For real. I know you're sponsored. You got a lot new gear. I'm assuming probably better gear.
So when I went to Sand Hollow, when I went to Flaming Gorge in September 2017, I had my one ugly stick, right?
Yeah.
Now I have 9 rods, 9 fishing rods, and my cheapest rod's like $110.
Your cheapest rod?
My cheapest rod, yeah. It's about $110. So.
Wow. What's your most expensive rod?
Oh, let's see. That one's probably be my 13 fishing setup. It's so the rod itself was $110, and then it was $110 rod, and then another $100 reel. So that's a $210 setup.
Whoa.
So that's probably my most expensive one. And then, but now it's like after this national championship, I got a lot of sponsors coming at me now. Like
you just met a lot of people down there, talked to them, or
yeah. Well, I got so Mike McKinstry. If you're in anything in the bass fishing world, kayak bass fishing world, you know this name.
He's well known.
He has his own TV show about kayak bass fishing. That's what he does. Like he has his TV show on Outdoor Network. Or no, it's something else. Anyway.
Yeah.
But so he hasn't promised me anything yet, which is I totally understand. But with Yak Gear, I might be able to get on a pro staff with Yak Gear, Railblazer, and then Nate's Custom Baits out of Pennsylvania, I think they do jigs.
Oh wow, okay.
And then Old Town Canoe, like the brand of my kayak. It's like, it's like any other. Like main brands, like what you see at Sportsman's or Shields or Cabela's.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that's on their pro staff, and he mentioned my name to him, so it's a good chance I'll be on their pro staff as well. So my tournament jersey next year, I have to buy another one because I have to add like 4 or 5 more sponsors.
Oh wow!
So
that seems like the ball's rolling now. I'm glad to have you on the podcast today. And I'm sure you can go like 5 more hours just on fishing.
Yeah, just on fishing. Heck
and it's actually really cool because there's a lot like I don't know about fishing. I mean, you're talking about like certain spots of the lake or like rocks and all that.
Yeah, it's not the throw the bobber out with a worm on it and wait.
Yeah, wait till it bobs. Yeah,
no. This is you're targeting like right now. Like when I go down to St. George, like I'm targeting beds. Like they should be on beds.
Yeah.
So I'll be
not everyone. I would say almost no anyone knows that. Just a funny quick story before we end. So it was me, Nathan, and Steven. We were fishing at Hobbs Pond or wherever it was, or Adams Pond in Layton.
It was Holmes
Creek.
Creek.
Holmes Creek, yeah.
Yeah,
and
Holmes Creek.
So we're out there, and then we see you come down the trail. You have your box,
Yeah.
And
I just got done with a freaking 8-hour tournament that day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think it was like starvation or something like that. I was coming from starvation.
Yeah, I think I can't remember I think Anna Paula was there. She was like swimming with Kit or something. Yeah, and as soon as you come off the rocks. As soon as you walk down, you're like, "Hey guys, watch this!" And no joke, on your very first cast, you caught a fish. Yeah, we were like, "What the crap was that, dude?" Like, I was here for like 3 hours,
Yeah, how long? We got Steve in the room as well. Like, how long were you guys sitting there? Like, when did you guys get to the?
Hello, guys.
How long were you guys fishing at Holmes Creek before I showed up?
We were fishing there. Let's put it this way: we were fishing there all day, and then Kendall totally crapped on us.
Yeah. Like, even Anna Paula was fishing, and she just gave up. She said, "I must go swim." Yeah. Actually, I don't think Kit was there. Actually, I think it was just me and Anna Paula.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Kit there. I think it was Anna Paula. But yeah, first cast, I was like,
first cast, and everyone's jaws just dropped. Like, you got to be kidding.
You know what I caught it on?
Maniac lure.
Freaking Maniac custom lures, man.
And I used it until it rotted away, and I didn't catch anything, not even a bite.
So everyone, if you're thinking about doing fishing, talk to Kendall about Maniac lures. He'll tell you how to get them. And now I want to get them. So,
also another shameless plug. May 4th. So Aaron, the angler of the year for Utah, the one I went down to Louisiana with, and the state champion Joe Randall. He only beat me by 3/4 of an inch. Dang it. So I got second place in the state championship.
Okay.
They're hosting a introduction to kayak bass fishing on Rockport. So at the Rockport Marina, it's totally free. We're giving away a kayak and a lot of other good prizes.
May 4th?
May 4th. And it's Shannon's birthday, so I'm going to try to talk her into... I'm trying to talk her... I'll be running... if I am able to make it, I'll be running the Maniac booth there, because Maniac's going to have an actual booth. And then it's pretty much like Mike McKinstry's showing up. He's flying in from New Hampshire or wherever he's from. And the guy I mentioned earlier, he's flying in to help out teach, and it's like a bass fishing seminar. Totally free. Totally free. But if you want to be in their drawing for like the kayak and stuff, you have to go to shootfishlife.com and just register so we can pull the names from that. Shootfish Life is Joe Randall's thing. So
okay.
It's another shameless plug.
So everyone look into that. I just want to say thank you for whoever's listening. A great podcast, and thank Kendall. And we have Callie in the room. Woo woo, Callie.
She goes silent.
Yeah. And we even have Mike here. Ooh.
Oh, Mike.
Mike.
So thanks to everyone for listening. Let's get this podcast rolling. We're trying to get everyone on it. So have a good night. And if you want to say anything, go ahead.
No, that's it. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I'm excited about this podcast stuff. I can't wait to host. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Think about who you want to host, and think about some questions or things you want to talk about. Well, have a good night, and take care.
Let's go fishing.